30. I'm calling the ONCC Executive Committee meeting to order. It's Monday, June 7th, 2021. This is a Zoom teleconference. Because it's a Zoom teleconference, any actions that we want to take will have to be done through a voice vote. Jeanette's in her office, so we're set for that. Do I hear a motion to approve the May 3rd, 2021 ONCC Executive Committee meeting minutes?
I'll move so.
Second.
Call the roll. Jeanette?
Joe Nunzio,
Yes.
Dr. Cooper,
Yes.
Evan Summers,
Yes.
Dennis Ryan,
Yes.
Ralph Sorsey, Brian Gazer,
Yes.
Superintendent Cassell,
Yes.
Karen Robles,
Yes.
and Aaron Frame.
Yes, good morning.
Thank you.
Okay, very good. First thing on the agenda is an idea I have. It's called ONCC Membership 101. Now, I'm not talking to you folks here because I know you guys and I know that you do the right thing. And the right thing to me, if you're a member of ONCC, is that you should become the conduit for and you are the conduit for complaints in your community. Somebody on your staff or yourself is probably taking the complaints and probably following up. I'm afraid that might not be happening with all the members of ONCC. I'm afraid some of them are just telling them to call 311, or some of them are saying, well, talk to somebody at the city. I don't know what to tell you. I think our membership is now sophisticated enough to be able to handle a complaint if it comes in, because what I see envisioned with ONCC is that our membership becomes the place where the complaints go to our members, our individual members, so they can take responsibility and deal with whatever issue it might be in their community. Because after all, I think that they're probably best at knowing how to deal with their own problem in their own community. And to that, what I'd like to do is formulate something called Membership 101 and just give an opportunity for all the members to learn about what I believe their responsibility should be in a way that helps ONCC and the communities too. Any comments about what I just said?
Go ahead, Dennis.
I'd like to, as you remember, a couple of years ago, Ryan and I put together that, we've always had that 101 class, and we put the 100 class, and we put the 200 class. I'm wondering if we should have them all go through the 100, the 200, and then make it 300, this particular situation.
Well, we could discuss that later. That's a good idea, and we could discuss that later. I'm just talking about my idea for the 101.
And I'd be really happy to help you out on that.
Okay. Evan, did you have a comment?
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with the idea. For political reasons, though, there is, and you can probably appreciate this, Joe, blaming the city is always kind of easy on us. So when there is noise over 10C in our residential neighborhoods, I'm not going to become the complaint department for the city of Chicago. So I will continue to shift blame to the city on incompatible land uses.
If the only answer is shifting blame, well, then that's what you got to do. But I'd like to see the complaints go to the membership instead of floating out there in some ether and talking to somebody that may or may not know what they're talking about.
And I have no problem as a member speaking eloquently to the issue, but in no way am I going to take responsibility for airplane noise over residential neighborhoods. That's this in Bensenville. That's just politically not going to happen.
I'm not going to ask you to do that. I'm not asking anybody to do that. I'm just asking you to be the. I mean, you are ready, so I'm not worried about you. But there's others that may not be. I want you to see yourself as we're the noise people here. We should be the conduit for the complaint. And if there's an explanation we can give them, fine. And if there isn't, other than our hands are tied and we can't do anything, well, that's an explanation, isn't it? Then they know.
Joe, I agree with both what you and Evan said, and I think the membership 101 makes sense in that we can start to get information out that at least frames some of the conversation and gets rid of some of these misnomers about like shutting down the airport overnight. And I mean, I agree with Evan, right? Like we're all members of ONCC because we're trying to make some positive change, but also because it demonstrates to our residents that we're actively working on what they see to be as a problem. But it is a slow process, appropriately so. But I do think there needs to be some basic information about kind of their role on ONCC, what can and cannot be accomplished at ONCC, so that some members maybe aren't giving out kind of false hope to residents about what can be accomplished. You know, I think there's a lot of misgivings about what's happening with like the noise complaint information. And I think we do look at it and we do consider it, but I don't know. It appears that there seems to be some sort of groundswell as to what they expect us to be doing about that information. And I think if we can start to educate our members, at least when they're engaging with their residents, we can start to resolve some of these, like I said, misconceptions about what we can and cannot accomplish through the ONCC.
Yeah, that's fine. I appreciate that too. At least we're now beginning to find exactly what we're expecting from our membership. And I think that needs to be done. I mean, I think showing up once a month at a meeting to fulfill an obligation that the village or school district gave you probably isn't enough. I mean, they should see themselves as a place where information could be dispersed. And with that, we'll be working.
Real quick on that, Joe, real quick.
Yeah.
To piggyback on that and to add to that, you know, with the new IGA that everyone is signing, have we gone through and had a layman's approach to explaining the changes in there? Because there are some pretty significant changes to the membership and the attendance policy. Have we done that in front of the full membership?
No, I assume that they read it, but if you think it's something that we need to do,
Joe, you're an attorney. You know this better than I do, but oftentimes people are handed something they're told to sign and just sign it.
yeah, and that's why people go to jail.
Chairman, I would offer, yes, I do think it's a good idea to review that because that has not been discussed since it came out of governance committee. It was recommended by governance committee, the full commission adopted that. And now that you're ready to implement it, yes, I think that membership 101 session is a good place to cover that material.
Sounds like an answer to me, Aaron. Thanks. Evan?
Yeah, I mean, it's your attendance policy. You can start enforcing it with the next meeting.
Okay. All right, thank you. Let's move on with the Fly Quiet report.
Yes, so we had a really productive meeting on May 27th. The approach we've taken is to use the same kind of roundtable discussion that we used to go through the alternatives, where we're giving every member an opportunity to comment and ask questions, then a second opportunity to comment or make the statement, and then we're trying to then take action on individual items. We were able to take 3 actions on alternative B at our last meeting. A motion carried to swap out weeks 4 and 5 and 10 and 11 to address consecutive impacts. We took a motion to ask Landerman Brown to bring back some new departure heading options for runway 4L on weeks 9 and 3. And then a motion passed to approve the original departure headings for runway 9 right on weeks 11 and 5. Like I said, I think it was a productive format to try and start getting through some of these issues. And so we're gonna pick up where we left off at our next meeting on June 22nd. I've also asked Jeanette to look at possible dates for a July meeting so that we can keep making progress. It's a little bit slow, but again, I think it's good conversation and helping us sort of take this one little step at a time so that then hopefully we can put together a package, review that, make any last tweaks, and then move things forward. And the next meeting's in person. I'm just going to keep reminding everyone of that.
Oh, wow. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Karen. This is an announcement. Oh, before we get to that, I need approval for the agenda for the Friday meeting. Has everybody taken a look at it?
I move that we accept that.
Can I ask a question about the FAA presentation?
Sure.
Chairman, we normally discuss that. Are we ready for that on the agenda? Did I miss something? Jeanette?
No,
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay,
this is for Friday's meeting, and it's my understanding that the FAA was gonna make a presentation on the scoping that's going on with the new things they're gonna be doing at the airport.
So yeah, I'd just like to talk about item number 5. Will there be a question and answer aspect of that, or is it simply a presentation?
These are usually presentations from the FAA.
they will take from, I've got to clarify with Amy, but normally the answers and questions, Q&A is from the membership.
So unfortunately, I will not be able to attend the meeting on Friday. And I don't think my sub is qualified. Can I submit questions in writing prior to the meeting
Sure,
for Amy to address?
sure.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions about the agenda? All right, we just had a motion to approve. We just had our discussion. Did I hear a second from somebody?
Second,
All right, call the roll.
Joe Nunzio,
Yes.
Dr. Cooper,
yes.
Evan Summers,
Yes,
Dennis Ryan,
Yes,
Brian Gazer,
Yes.
Superintendent Casal,
Yes.
Karen Robles,
Yes.
and Aaron Frame.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we have an announcement here. The ONCC Strategic Planning Committee meeting the meeting will be August 12th at Cafe La Cave. Any questions about that?
I'll be there.
Okay, I'll try to be there too.
I'll be there with the suitcase, by the way, because my wife will be picking me up with an Uber after that, and I will return to cruising that day.
I just want to introduce myself. I'm a staff assistant at State Rep Marty Moylan's office. My name is Fatima Khan, and I decided to attend, and I was able to register just because I've spoken to a few of our constituents in Park Ridge who have been stating their concern about the noise. So they've been voicing that, and so I thought that I should just be present and see what I could extract and potentially present and while engaging with the committee here during your meeting.
Okay.
would it be possible to allow Ms. Khan some staff time with CDA or Landerman Brown to bring her up to speed on the rotation plan?
Yes,
Chairman,
Aaron?
also
I think so.
speak with
Huh?
Commissioner Ree. Our currently we have no intergovernmental affairs staff. Our deputy took another job. So I will mention this to the commissioner and ask how she'd like us to outreach to Representative Moylan's office. Yes.
I would also like to have Ernie at the meeting if at all possible, if you could make it, Ernie, because you're a representative for Park Ridge, and if these questions are coming from Park Ridge, maybe you should be aware of them. What's your feeling on it?
I'd be happy to, Joe. That'd be fine.
Okay, thanks.
And if Fatima, if you wanted to reach out to me, I'd be happy to speak with you also.
Okay, absolutely. Is there an email address to reach you at?
Yes, I'll make sure it gets to you.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Thank you, Joe.
Okay, you're welcome. Now I have some news to give that I'm going to give with a heavy heart. After having a long conversation with Jeanette last Friday, we've decided the best route for Jeanette and for the ONCC is for us to part ways. She will be working here for a couple more months, and then we're going to look for during that time, we're going to be looking for a new executive director. I'm sorry I have to say this because she's been such a stalwart person through all of this. I mean, a lot of us leaned on her and she was there for us, but given the situation that I see developing, I think it's best that we look for a new executive director. Now, if the executive committee wants to have a special meeting to discuss this, or they want to talk to me individually, I'd be happy to do that. But I'm not going to be saying anything more in an open meeting. All right, thank you.
I just want to say that obviously, like, Jeanette's been a huge part of this organization since I've joined about 7 years ago. I think she's going to be almost impossible to replace. I think her knowledge and her ability to work with people and the communities is outstanding. And so Jeanette, you know, it's going to be a huge loss for the organization. And I'm going to relish working with you for the next few months while we still have you, and hope that we can find someone who can step into your shoes even half as well as you've managed it. So.
Thank you.
Ray?
I also agree with that. She's been a real godsend, both personally and with the association. That we kind of both shared a little illness the last couple of years, and we helped each other through it. And I'll miss her. I've been here, what, 13 years now? Joe's been here a lot longer. All the way through, she's always been there for me when I've needed help. So I'm gonna miss you.
I do think we should probably have an executive session on this. It's such a, Jeanette, I'm kind of taken back by this. But it's such a unique position trying to manage 50 some odd communities that we're gonna need to find the right person. So we need to put some thought behind that.
I agree with you, Evan. I think we should have a special session.
It'll be a closed session because
Oh,
it's.
yes, definitely an executive session.
Jeanette, can you do that? Set up a meeting?
Or
Okay.
do you guys want to do it right now after this meeting, or do you want to set up a special meeting?
Jeanette, I would discourage today because it's not on the agenda.
Okay.
And
Yeah, we need 48 hours posted.
agenda, and they have to take minutes and all that jazz for open meetings.
Okay.
All right. Comments from the audience? Dan, I understand you have something you'd like to say?
Yeah, thank you, Joe. Just on Fly Quiet, completely agree that was a very productive meeting, and it's a great format to encourage the vocal participation of all the members. I guess the only thing that concerned me was the tone of some of the written recommendations prior to the meeting, in that we're trying to encourage and solicit ideas from the membership in the terms such as members fail to respect or misadvised advocacy or a red herring or a ruse, I don't think is appropriate. Now, whether that's someone's personal commentary, I don't think language such as that should be shared with the committee because I think it's really intended to discourage participation. So that I hope in moving forward that won't be permitted. Thanks.
Thank you, Dan. Are there any other cards, Jeanette? Anybody
No,
else?
that was it.
All right. The next ONCC Executive Committee meeting will be August 12th, 2021.
I move we adjourn.
Second,
Jeanette, want to call the roll?
Sure. Joe Nunzio,
Yes.
Dr. Cooper,
yes.
Evan Summers,
Yes.
Dennis Ryan,
Yes.
Brian Gazer,
Yes.
Superintendent Cassell,
Yes.
Karen Robles,
Yes.
and Aaron Frame.
Yes.
Thank you.
The next O'Hare Compatibility Commission meeting will be June 11th at 8 o'clock, and I'll see everybody then. Thank you for participating today.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.